Okay, I wanted to make a little note to myself before I forget it again, but it was on my mind again, is that the dates of something happening in my life are not right. It's all not adding up right. And I don't know why it got to be like this. I mean, what? Okay, let me explain. In the year 2000, in Texas, I was living in Texas, but not here. I'm living now in Texas. But I wound up going to, I was in the hospital. How did it happen? I was in the hospital. I had driven myself to the hospital where I was living in Texas, and I was admitted for, I was in there for like, I couldn't even remember how long, 10 days maybe or so. And while there, I had pancreatitis. And while I was there, after I left there, they sent me to an endocrinologist. The hospital sent me. It may have been right away, no appointment, just go there and talk to them. And the woman was very angry. She was about the age I am now. And I remember she was kind of a little bit of a round woman, I'll put it that way. I'm not saying big or anything. She just, well, there's a reason I would say round. But anyway, not picking on her. I do not judge people by their weight, especially since I am a gentle giant of a woman. Or maybe just how my personality is. I wouldn't judge anybody by their, I'm not superficial. So anyway, but she was a very angry woman, angry endocrinologist. And she went off on me, telling me, you know, women just want to have that problem and da 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 da. And I was like, they do. They want all these health problems that's associated with it, right? You know, actually, I don't know what I was saying. I just remember being, you know, like, I don't even know what that is. And this was my introduction to it, was an endocrinologist. I didn't even know what an endocrinologist was. And she's going off on me, angry, saying all this stuff, this weird stuff. And I think she finally called herself and she explained it to me a little bit. Okay, a little bit. Never went back to her. Never. And I don't even know her name. But, okay, now that's the year 2000. Okay. Now, I remember looking it up, that health condition. I've said this, that the health condition, when I first looked it up, said that it was 1 in 33 million. And I may have said the date, the year, 1998. Now, what? Maybe I didn't say it. And it's just been in my mind because I'm thinking, I may have done it on video. I'm thinking, what? That's not making any sense. Why would I be looking it up in 1998? Well, 1998, I was living in California. Okay. And here's the interesting thing. I was living in California, 1998. But I had moved from that town where I was living in the year 2000. What? It was kind of, oh my goodness, when you get to a certain age, you look back and say, how did all this happen? Because I don't think, I may have, but I don't think I lived in that town, that city. It's actually a mid-city, DFW. And at least as far as I know, it was always thought that way. I don't think I've ever seen anybody define it, or heard anybody define it. But did I move back there? When I came back, was I living there? It's very confusing. Yeah, very confusing. Because I don't think I lived there twice, but maybe I did. I moved back to that place. So I've lived in a lot of places. I have lived in several states since I was 18. I was born and raised in Texas. Stayed there until I was 18, but I don't think it was until I don't even know how long it was before I moved out of Texas. I had moved in a lot of places in Texas, like Austin, Houston, San Antonio, Dallas, lots of the cities around Dallas, a few small towns, moved around, and that's just the short list. Yeah. Okay, but I've been trying to figure this out. How would that have happened? That I had looked it up, because I remember like I said, what did I say? I was in California in 1998 in San Jose, and I remember where I was sitting and the computer I had, looking it up, and I'm thinking, was I looking up something else, and it mentioned that, and I checked that out, and I had forgotten about it in the year 2000 when I was put in a hospital with pancreatitis, and they diagnosed it there and sent me to an endocrinologist. It was confusing. Now, the whole thing about why would I want to remember when I looked it up, when I first heard about it, that, and it led to me remembering that when I was in the 7th grade, which I would have been, 12? Yeah, 12 years old then, my social sciences, that's what it was called, right? Social science. She put it on, one of those screen, back then we had projectors and all that, and they may still, I don't know. But she put up on the screen that health condition. And I was thinking, and for no reason, that was not her thing to do, but she just did. And the whole class, all of us looked up at it, and I remember looking up at it and saying, that sounds like me. Yeah, I remember it. I remember thinking, would she be doing that? Would she be telling the whole class about this, when it does seem like me? But I had no idea that I had this health condition until I was, how old was I in 2000? Yeah, I was old. I'm old now. Not really. But anyway, so it's just not adding up. It's really not adding up. But, I'm older now, and my memory, I can remember those things, but the thing, 1998, the year 2000, how did that come about? But I do believe it was because I had seen an endocrinologist, 2 of them, I think. Well, no, one was an internal medicine, and then I saw a doctor who was, I think, an endocrinologist, and he had a partner with him too, another doctor, and they were talking about, and the guy had asked me something like, who was treating you in Texas? Was she a witch doctor? Because she had put me on supplements, and the supplements were actually some part of it, I don't even know what it would be. It wouldn't be like your usual ones. That some part of it came from pigs. Yeah, pigs. It was supposed to be for thyroid, which, as I did not have a thyroid problem, and that endocrinologist and all since then said you don't have an thyroid problem. I had an adrenal gland problem. Okay, but now think about this. Back in 1998, it was odd for people. Anything I knew back then, it was weird, and it was something that you might hear a doctor say, what are they, a witch doctor? To take supplements for stuff. Okay, and it could have been just, I don't know. But I remember back then that was the case. But it could have been something that I have a vague memory of him showing me the 1 in 33 million also. So which one was it? But why wouldn't he have diagnosed me? I do remember 2 doctors, and I remember he was so arrogant. Wait a minute. When have I not noticed that? Seriously. I had made a whole video today, a drive vlog video about how my health has actually improved, and I deleted it by accident. I thought that was the one that I had uploaded, but then I hadn't because I wanted to put another one up first. So I deleted it. even out of the trash. I had deleted it. But my health is improving. So, finally. And one of the reasons was because I told my doctor, my the latest nurse practitioner, that my problem is healthcare professionals. That's why my blood pressure was high, and I wanted to get off the new medicine she put me on, and I wanted to stay on. It's supposed to be patient-centered, but too many of them these days that I've run across make it provider-centered, and I took back my power and my patient-centered voice and said, this is what I want to do. And she said, yes, ma'am. Okay, so, yeah, I took back my voice. Not politely, by the way, very politely, but just said, I am not going to do this. She wanted me to come in the office again after she screwed up and after she didn't call me back for around 24 hours or so. And I was asleep, actually, when she called. And I guess my... waking up and her calling and telling me I've got to come back in the office, and I said no. My problem is healthcare professionals. It's all wrapped around healthcare. It has been for many years, and I thought about it, and yet it had been since I was old enough to take myself to the doctor. You get that right? I'm by myself. And I made a whole video about all that stuff connected, and I deleted it. Oh my goodness. But anyway, I wanted to keep some notes on this so I won't forget it again. But those dates, I wish I could remember, how and when did it all come about? So, exactly, because that doesn't, if I made that mistake, it doesn't make any sense why I would have looked it up. Maybe I hadn't looked it up. Maybe it was that doctor had told me about it. So I went home and looked it up, but then didn't remember that I had looked it up. Maybe it was just something that just seemed, oh yeah, right, whatever. Kind of like these doctors do. Oh my goodness. Anyway, just thought I'd make these notes.